Let's go check out what the markets have done and see if we can get any clues heading in to this week. There's a Mike, the tactical stock scalper. All right, all right. So you see here, we're looking at IWM on the weekly chart. I have this line that I drew for you guys the other day, and it looks like we're going to try to form this channel. My thought process hasn't changed. As you see here, it kind of looks like we're just starting to form that channel. Now, each one of these candles represents a week. So this channel was basically 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 12 weeks. So it could stay in this type of channel right here for quite some time. We're looking for a high on this probably around the 210 area, and we don't want to see it going any lower than 85 or 185 rather on IWM. So it'll just trade back and forth in this channel, I believe, for a little bit of time. So that is IWM. Let's look at IWMY right quick. And we're going to go out to the daily time frame. So IWM, this chart is really confusing, and it really doesn't collaborate much with the underlying. We'll need more time for this to develop, of course. But you see here, it looks like a bottom on IWMY currently that I bought some down there the other day when I told you guys that I was buying down there because I thought it was the bottom of that middle channel that I showed you in IWM being formed. So so far, so good on that. Let's go look at the Qs. Let's see what these old things are up to today. So as we see the Qs, we're looking for a bounce. We got it. It's getting back over the 20-period moving average. What we'd really like to see is that 20-period moving average hold. So maybe come back down tomorrow, test it, and see if it holds, and then go up from there. It was using the 20-period moving average as resistance, but today we got the big green candle, and it ripped right through that. And now we're looking to go back up to this 412 area. The question will be, will we sell off again when we get there? Or is this something called 3 drives to a high? And let me show you what I mean about that. Let's go into a weekly chart. So sometimes when you're looking to form another high, so we had this high here earlier, and the Qs broke that. We had one drive, as you see up there, to 412. It's looking like we're having another drive up there. And then if it fails, and then it tries to come back up and fails again, that would be 3 drives to a high. So right now we're working on drive 2. But again, this is a double top type of formation, so some downside is still possible. And on a weekly time frame, we didn't quite get down there to the 20-period moving average on a weekly time frame. But as you see, the EMAs are just racing up. So that's quite fascinating. Look at SPY. Oh, we forgot to look at QQQY. Let's look at that. And let's go to the daily time frame for QQQY. We were looking for a bottom. We bought more QQQY the other day. Again, we're bouncing up from this level. We are creating lower highs and lower lows on the QQQY. We'd like to see some more stabilization here and see what happens. But that, of course, depends upon the market. Nothing we can do about that. Let's go look at SPY. I mean, really, this has worked out really beautiful for longs here. Went down to the 20-period moving average. Just got a shade above it, but really didn't close a candle below it. So the 20-period moving average was being used as support. And as you see, we got quite the face ripper, as my boy Max Convexity likes to say. And we are headed up to the other high. So let's look at this on a weekly time frame. I'm going to show you something here. We still never reached all-time highs yet on this second go-round on SPY and the NDX. So maybe, on SPY and the SPX. So maybe the rest of the markets are waiting for SPY to get up there. This probably wasn't really so far a big enough pullback. So I would expect another pullback coming in. This is a pretty mild and weak pullback considering how far we ran up for 9 weeks in a row. I'm still looking for a bigger pullback, but until the time happens, we may go back up there to this 477 level, and we'll have to see what happens there. Let's look at JEPI. Really looking much like QQQY, but a little more stable. The drops aren't as big, right? And the highs aren't as high. So this JEPI is looking rather solid. I don't own JEPI, but I'm really liking the way it's behaving. The dividends are a little less than I would probably like. But we're going to keep an eye on JEPI, and I may be adding that to my portfolio in the future. But right now, I really like the way it's looking. Let's look at Tesla. Now, hopefully you guys held on long enough for this because I want to show you something that's rather important. Okay. There's this trend line, and I want to pull it up here, that everyone and their mother talks about, okay? See this trend line here that's coming down? Well, trend lines expand and contract. They are not the end-all be-all. So could we come and bust through this trend line? Absolutely. And here's another thing I wanted to show you. Since this point down here on a weekly time frame, we started to create higher lows. Let me show you this. So we'll start right here, and we'll go here. So what you see there, we are forming a nice little wedge, right? The lows keep getting higher. The highs keep getting lower. Pretty soon, and probably around earnings, because that's the way the market works, it appears sometimes. And we will have a pretty tight wedge, it looks like, coming into earnings. I wouldn't expect a big dynamic movement out of Tesla yet until earnings. So it looks like it's setting up there, nice wedge forming here, which means there will be a dynamic move once this wedge is complete. So be looking forward to that. Now, whether that dynamic move is going to be up or down, we don't know. We just know that it's going to be forming. And let's look at it on a daily time frame here. So as you see there, even on a daily time frame, we got a lot of room within this wedge still to work. But this is what it looks like. It's forming, and I would expect a dynamic move out of earnings. Now, the last few earnings for Tesla have not been good. So since that time, it drops, every single time. Will this be the earnings that's good and causes it to rocket up? It's completely possible. You can only have so many bad earnings in a row on a long-standing company like Tesla and how diverse they are. So could this be the earnings to shoot it over the edge and really propel it up? Or is this going to be another failure of an earnings and Tesla will drop way, way lower? We'll just have to see how this develops. Hope you enjoyed the content. This is Mike, Tactical Stock Scalper, out.